So what's upsetting Jimmy?
Tax loopholes, Frank. So this isn't tax evasion, this is tax avoidance. So it's following the letter of the law, not the spirit of the law, and leaving it up to us to decide how much we pay. And I don't think it's a good idea. It's not a good idea. No, I don't know all the detail. I think that's been reported on. It's like one law for rich people and one law for everyone else. It doesn't seem fair, and it seems to me they should make the law much clearer, much simpler to follow, and it would be better for everyone. I should probably mention I'm a recent convert to this view. I'm not sure if you're aware, but in 2012 I had a 50% pay cut. And this is when you know you've got a tax problem. If anyone's ever had a letter through from HMRC, don't worry about that. Pop that in the recycling. They will send another letter. They're very good like that. If, on the other hand, if the Prime Minister of the country that you live in breaks off from the G20 summit in Mexico and he comes out early to do a press conference where he talks about nothing other than your personal tax affairs, that is going to be a problem. And I know, because that is what happened to this guy.
Shall we go for a little walk down memory lane and relive that?
Oh, I can't imagine any problem with that, psychologically.
This is the then Prime Minister, David Cameron.
Some of these schemes where people are parking huge amounts of money offshore and taking loans back to just minimise their tax rates, it is not morally acceptable. And I put it like this. You know, think of all those people who work hard, who pay their taxes, and out of that post-tax income save up to go and see Jimmy Carr. He's taking that money and stuffing it into something where he doesn't have to pay taxes. That is not fair. That is not right.
He's got a point.
How much are your tickets that people have to save up?
They're expensive. They're significantly more now than they were. But I think that thing of like... The other reason I wanted to put this in was because I kind of thought, obviously, like, the Paradise Papers then came out more recently, and the perception is everyone's doing this. I mean, the Queen.
I know. Unforgivable.
I mean, but she's on money. If she wants more money, she's just got to photocopy her face. It's weird as well, the sort of, you know, that thing of, like, you know, David Cameron, much as that's his job to do that, and I absolutely respect that, but the fact that, you know, it's a large offshore trust in his family name that pays no tax. You go, well, there's always going to be a level of kind of hypocrisy in this.
Yeah. Was there a little bit of you that was quite excited when he named you on the telly, though?
It's nice to be on the news, because it rates.
Because it rates.
Yeah.
There are worse
You see
ways.
my new show? It's called The News. It's good.
I've featured a lot on it lately.
I don't know why there isn't a law. People, like, when I've spoken to accountants, I've spoken to a lot of people about this, I've become something of an expert by accident. And I sort of think it should be really simple. And I sort of really simplified my life afterwards and went, oh, why have I got a limited company? It's mental. Why have I got that? Just get the money, pay the tax, and then fine. Obviously, I should have done that earlier, but... it's a mea culpa. I did a bad thing and I've, you know... Although I didn't kill anyone, because there's a very clear law on that.
No grey area.
If they had the same law on murder, I'd have killed loads of people. If they said, well, we leave it up to you, decide what you think is morally right. No, that's your job.
I always thought, at the time, I thought Ken Dodd must have been gutted because he was the go-to tax dodger comedian for 30 years.
You heard what Ken Dodd said, right? I mean, he was on trial in Liverpool. He was in court in Liverpool, and they said to him, why didn't you pay any tax? And he said, well, it's the inland revenue, and I live by the sea. I mean, he's a genius.
Are you going to do a Ken Dodd quote for every topic tonight?
Please.
He's the absolute master.
It's quite an achievement.
The reason for putting this in there, they could close all of those loopholes tomorrow. They could just say, we're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that. If you earn money, you pay 40% on it, and that's it. That's the law.
This is a bit like a burglar coming on the show and trying to put in windows. They're there, but you don't have to climb through them.
No, but I mean, that's the thing. If you leave it up to people's morality, you've got to understand there's quite a lot of people like me that have got a morality that's flexible. I mean, you know how much tax I saved?
No.
None.
Is that because you paid it all back?
Yeah. But I think there's a weird thing that people still think maybe you got away with something. No, you didn't get away with anything at all. It's an interesting thing that you go, it's almost like I think the government loaned me some money for a bit at quite a high interest rate. That's the way I see it. Very good of them.
I'm sorry to hear you paid it all back, because there's a pothole by where I live, and every time I drive through it, I say to my partner, "Thank you, Jimmy Carr."